If you soak your reeds in water, you should stop. And I'm about to tell you why. Alright, let's see what I got here. This thing's about almost 2 months old. And it's never seen tap water, just the moisture from my mouth. Still pretty good. I feel like maybe I got like one more serious gig on this and it's probably dead though. What's up everyone, Kevin Benny here, and in this video I'm going to go in depth as to why you should soak your reeds in your mouth rather than soaking your reeds in water. First, let's debunk some of the myths that revolve around soaking your reeds in your mouth and why that's bad for your reeds. The whole thing about our saliva being too acidic for our reeds is a myth. First off, the pH levels of everyone's saliva differs. With 7 being neutral, lower numbers being acidic and higher numbers being alkaline, the pH levels of saliva varies from about 6.5 to 7.5. And in healthy individuals with no deficiencies in minerals or vitamins, their pH is going to be usually alkaline, 7.1 to 7.5. So if you're worried about your saliva being too acidic, be sure to eat a lot of fresh vegetables to keep a nice healthy alkaline ecosystem within your body. Now, tap water can be even more acidic than saliva can, dropping as low as 6 on the pH scale. So right there debunks the myth that saliva is too acidic or more acidic than water is for our reeds. Regardless, this range of acidity to alkalinity is non-corrosive to organic material, so it's not going to be the cause of your reeds to break down or to shorten their lifespan. The other problem with saliva, people say, is it has enzymes that can break down your reed. The enzymes break down our food, so of course they're going to be able to break down our reed, right? Wrong. That's incorrect. Saliva does have enzymes that break down food, but it only breaks down carbohydrates in our food. It doesn't break down protein or fats or anything like that. It works with our teeth to emulsify the food so we can then swallow it, but the saliva only actively breaks down carbohydrates. Now, if you look at the composition of Arundinodonax, which is the plant that, or the cane plant that our reeds come from, I'll try not to get too scientific here if I haven't already exhausted you. These plants and the cell structures within them do consist of types of carbohydrates, but they're in the form of cellulose and hemicellulose. And those are types of carbohydrates that our body processes as dietary fiber. And we do not break those down. Throughout our entire system, we do not break down dietary fiber. Plus, cane consists of this polymer that exists in wood that gives it its rigidity called lignin, and that works and interweaves within these carbohydrates that makes it even harder for us to break down. We don't go eating wood anywhere, so that's what cane has to give it its rigidity. So right there debunks the myths about saliva being bad for our reeds. Now, why is water bad for our reeds? Well, if you add water to reeds, it makes them a breeding ground for bacteria, mold, yeast, etc. Cane is an organic material, and the addition of water or water vapor or as high humidity levels makes them an ideal environment for bacteria, microorganisms to grow and start eating away at your reed. So unless your reed dries relatively fast after you've soaked it in water, stuff's gonna start to get nasty. And if you quickly dry your reed, then you run into issues with warping, and the reed can warp and then not be playable. And that's a whole nother topic, and I'm gonna talk about that in a future video, so be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. Now, the great thing about saliva is it has antimicrobial properties that's gonna really resist any type of bacterial growth, mold, yeast, fungus, whatever. So if you have bacterial or mold issues with your reeds and you're soaking them in water, stop. Soak them in your saliva. It's built in that it's going to resist any type of mold or growth and everything like that. One added bonus of saliva is that there's high contents of calcium in it. And calcium actually works with your reed in sealing up the pores. And when you seal up the pores, it really makes the reed consistent on a day-to-day basis, regardless of humidity changes. The main reason why reeds die or reed degradation is that we're simply playing on these reeds. They're vibrating at the speed at which they can make a sound. So that's extremely fast. It's an organic material. It's not like it's alive. It can't repair itself. It's not still living and taking nutrients and water from the soil. So there's only so much they can take. And each reed is different because, again, they're natural. So each reed is going to have a different lifespan. That about wraps it up. I've done a lot of experimentation experimentation. I've done a good amount of research with all this. I have strong opinions on it. I feel like this is kind of a controversy topic within reeds. So many reed performers, and I've been taught, oh, saliva, resist as much as possible soaking your reeds in saliva and soaking them in water. But I just, all the experimentation I've done does not really follow those rules. So please, I encourage comments. I encourage everyone's opinion. If you have any resources that disprove my theory, put them in the comments below. Of course, if there's things that prove my theory, definitely put those in the comments or email me, anything like that. There's not much material on this subject matter. That's just how it is. So we have to kind of stretch ourselves, experiment, do our own little thing like little scientists, and try to make our own decisions on this stuff. So everyone, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you liked it. Let me know in the comments below. Also give me a thumbs up. Be sure to subscribe. Click on that little bubble. I also encourage you to subscribe to my email list. I give a tip a week and also free resources like sheet music, things like that for saxophonists and all musicians. So I'd appreciate it so much if you considered that. Thanks everyone. See you next week. If you show...